committed. He committed.
Like, I feel like it comes along in organizations, it comes along in families, it comes along with teams, to where you have an individual or you have individuals and they have the capacity for the journey. Yeah. It's a lot of people that got the talent and the skill, but they don't have the capacity for the journey, right? What I mean by the capacity, the things that you have to face in order to sustain, to get to where you're trying to get to on the journey. Because life is always gonna come back, right? You got a goal, you got a dream, you got an aspiration. You wanna do something for your children, you wanna do something for your mother, you wanna do something for your company. As soon as you put it out into the atmosphere or the world or the universe, life is always gonna hit back. Yeah. Life is always gonna punch back. Life always gonna send you back them body blows. Yeah. Just to see, let me see how bad he want it. Like you said, you want to pay for your kids' college? Cool, right? Multi-family months, okay, cool. You say you want to do it? Let's see, I'm gonna hit you. Let's see where you hit back, where you fight back. People are resilient, man. I tell people often, people are amazing, man. And more times than not, it's not that a person doesn't have what it takes. It's that sometimes you don't realize it's gonna take everything you got.
Yeah, there we go, bro.
It's just gonna, sometimes it's some things, it's just gonna take everything you got. Tears, blood, sweat, cuts, it's just gonna take everything you got.
Yeah.
And if you stop in the midst of the opposition and adversity, you'll never get to witness the greatness.
That's it, man.
The manifestation, right? Breaking generational curses. Yeah. You'll never get to witness that if you stop in the middle of the journey.
My name is Quency Wiggins. I want to be a buff because I want to join Deion Sanders in his movement, and I believe he got all the tools I need to get to the next level.
Quency Wiggins was born on November 30th, 2003 in the capital city of Baton Rouge, which is also home to LSU. Baton Rouge is located on the eastern bank of the Mississippi River. It had a population of approximately 227,470 people in 2020. Son of Bryce and Latoya Wiggins, Quency Wiggins is pictured here with his mother and younger brother. He attended Madison Prep Academy in Baton Rouge, the class of 2022, and played football for Coach Landry Williams. He also played basketball at Madison Prep. As a football player, Quincy helped lead Madison Prep to its first ever football state championship in 2020.
Madison Prep, the lowest seed in the bracket with the hardest road to get here, gets it done, winning their first ever state championship, shutting out Union Parish 50-0.
We started off fast, and we got to hit them in the mouth. I saw them laying down, and I just kept telling the team, keep hitting them in their neck until the game over, because they quit, and they quit.
From the beginning, I was like, we're going to win the state championship. And the guys kind of bought into it and started believing it, and they started working hard each summer, each off-season for it. Going to this season, I'm like, hey, guys, just seen it's your time. And we just keep turning on the juice, and we're here today as state champions.
The Chargers' defense suffocated an offense that averaged 46 points per game, while their offense exploded for 486 total yards, led by three-year starter Zion Chris.
I was real confident with the guys going in. I'm not going to say it was revenge, but when we played Union Parish last year, we wasn't on all cylinders. We didn't have all our guys in. So today, we really wanted to make a statement where what a healthy Madison Prep team clicking on all cylinders look like.
Wiggins was also invited to play in the Adidas All-American Bowl. In the midst of Quincy's All-American Bowl invitation, Coach Orgeron, LSU's head football coach, who had heavily recruited Wiggins, announced his resignation on October 17, 2021.
LSU was terrific in beating Florida on Saturday, but it didn't stop what seemed inevitable by now. Ed Orgeron out as LSU's football coach. The official announcement came from Orgeron and athletic director Scott Woodward. They held a joint press conference at 7 o'clock Sunday night in Baton Rouge. Now, Orgeron said he knew it was coming after the Kentucky game 2 weeks ago. That was an embarrassing loss for LSU. Again, the Tigers played well against Florida, and they could still go to a bowl game. LSU is only 2 wins away from being bowl eligible. Orgeron said he will coach the team through that bowl game if they get to a bowl game. Now, LSU, the school, is responsible now for paying Orgeron's $17 million buyout. Maybe the most interesting thing at that joint press conference, Scott Woodward said that this firing was not about well-publicized off-the-field issues. Those include the way Orgeron handled the Darius Geis situation, the way he handled the social justice protest over the summer. He said it was simply about wins and losses, and that at 9-8, since winning the national championship 21 months ago was not good enough. And Orgeron seemed to accept that and be ready to move on, although he said he is getting ready for Ole Miss this week. It was an interesting story that will continue to play out as LSU looks for a new football coach. Woodward said that process began on Sunday, but he didn't want to go into it. He sort of wanted to let this night be about Ed Orgeron and his tenure at LSU coming to an end.
Great. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here on a Sunday. Before we talk business, I want to take a moment and make some personal remarks because this is real personal to me. This is a bittersweet day, and the reason I say bittersweet is that the sweet part is I came here, and yesterday we had a hell of a game. And the thing about it is Coach Orgeron has beat the Gators 3 times in a row, and that's all 3 years I've been here, Ed, and that's something I'm proud of. But I want you guys to know Ed Orgeron's a friend. We're both Louisiana guys through and through. We both deeply care about this football program, and I will always be grateful for Coach Orgeron for leading the Tigers to the greatest season in the history of college football. With that said, the job requires us to set personal feelings aside and make decisions that are ultimately best for LSU. Since my first day back at LSU in 2019, Coach O and I have maintained an open and consistent dialogue about the state of LSU football. At LSU, we expect to compete for SEC and national championships year in and year out. We are proud of that standard and will always work to uphold it. Our last 2 seasons have simply not met that standard. When we evaluated our on-field results and the future of our program with President Tate, we determined that it is time for us to move in a new direction. That was LSU's decision, but it is one Coach O understands. It's clear in our conversations he wants what's best for LSU above all else. We've asked him, and he has agreed, to remain as head coach through the end of the 2021 season. We believe that gives our student athletes the best chance for success this season. We believe it will help us in our recruiting efforts as well, and I know Coach O will continue to give everything he has because that's who he is, and that's what he's always done for our state and for our university. His passion and pride for our football team and for our state are unrivaled and undeniable. The search for LSU's next championship football coach begins today. And while there will be plenty of time to discuss that in the days and weeks ahead, I believe today is about Coach O and what he has meant to this program. So in that vein, in that spirit, I will now give him the opportunity to say a few words.
Thanks, Scott. First of all, I want to say that Scott's been up and up with me ever since he got here. We both from Louisiana. I knew the expectation of LSU when I took the job. I told you that. I understand the expectation. I invite them. And, man, 2019, what a magical run. But you know what? Because of the players. We had great players. And we had great coaches here, and the players make this program, and you're able to recruit great players here at LSU. But I knew we had to sustain that momentum, and we had to sustain that standard. And I know that the last 2 years hasn't been the standard of LSU. So when he came and talked to me after the Kentucky game, I knew that it was time. And I understand that. I understand the expectations of LSU. And I invited myself, and we did not meet him the last 2 years. I'm honored that I got to be the head coach at LSU. This administration has treated me with class, with dignity. The whole time that I've been here, they've given me everything that we needed to have success. I met with the players today. It's the first time that I get to talk to the players before I wanted to talk to you. But I am happy that I can be the coach of the LSU Tigers towards the end of the season. And I promise you this, we're not going to blink. I'm glad we beat Florida. Tomorrow's going to be Tell the Truth Monday. And we're going to be on to Ole Miss. And I'm going to take it one day at a time. But I'm always going to appreciate my time here. I have no regrets. Not one day. I was not going to have a bad day. I'm not going to blink. I'll tell you guys that. You know, the circumstances that we haven't won enough games in the last 2 years, I totally get it. So grateful of my time for LSU. That was my opportunity. You know, coaches got a shelf. Some coaches got 50 years. Some coaches got 12. Mine was 6. Good. I got to tell you, we had a meeting. Say, Coach, things are not going well. No, Ray Charles can see that, brother. And they were good. And Scott Woodward is a friend of mine today. Really, really, a lot of respect for the way they handled me.
So what's next?
Well, I got to tell you this, though. Say, Coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
I'm Cam Jordan, New Orleans Saints defensive end.
That is a big sack by Cam Jordan.
I'm here with young Quincy, future star, the next generation.
My name is Quency Wiggins. I'm a senior at Madison Preparatory Academy. I play defensive line in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
He's looking under pressure, and he's taken down.
I'm a huge Cam Jordan fan. I tried him out on my game after him.
We're gonna watch some of your highlights, some of my highlights. We're gonna talk a little football today. Let's get to it. Okay, show me what you got. Inside move with the speed to close. Okay, that's how you play football right there. Yeah, I see Q. What's that little jab step outside before the move in?
Yeah, I jabbed out, made him step out.
Is that a stunt, or is that's just something you had in the bag?
Oh, that's just something I got in the bag. You know,
Yes, sir.
I try to mix it up in the game.
No doubt. Bro, the worst thing you can do is just, be predictable. Check that hip with the gator roll. Technique sound right there. Gator roll activated. And that's the way we play football. Oh, you got that left in? Yeah, I already know what time it is.
Under pressure, steps up, and he's taken down from behind. Cam Jordan with the sack for the Saints.
Yeah, that's your favorite move right there, Coach?
Yeah, so that's a little club over. Look, that's gonna hit him with that jab step. So you know what I'm saying? Just like what you sort of just did. Get him to freeze, get him to sit down, get that weight shifted, and then it's all about that club to the outside where you're able to rip. It's beautiful when you catch them one-on-ones. Catch you a one-on-one, you gotta win.
I noticed that's your favorite celebration.
Oh yeah, hey, you know what time it is. Hey, it's big level. We stacking all them sacks. Oh yeah, show me what you got off that edge. So I see you wanted to go ahead and pass rush. You realized that thing was a run. You thought it was gonna be a draw.
Yeah, I seen that.
The eye recognition is real, bro. Hey, show me where to put the eyes. Show you where the play goes. You locked in. I see you with the closing speed, my boy.
Yeah, man. Try to be the fastest lineman ever.
Yeah?
I'll probably run maybe a 4-1.
A 4-1?
Yeah, on a good day.
Oh, stop playing. You'd be the fastest football player ever.
Oh, yeah? Huh?
That one batted in the air and intercepted by Cameron Jordan.
You start off with that good bull rush on the edge. You put your hand up when the quarterback drops for his release. You see that set throw? Gotta put your hand up, not out. You put it out, the ball gets batted down or away. You try and put your hand straight up, bro. Get your little pop fly. So tips equals picks. You know the story of the game.
Yeah, man. I've been trying to catch a pick for so long. Doesn't seem to work for me,
Yeah. You ain't got one yet? Look, you got plenty of time.
When I tell coach every game I'm gonna get one, and I don't get one.
Hey, you young. You still got, like you said, you got a whole future ahead of you. You gonna get you one. We're gonna send you a little football down that way, you know what I'm saying? Little Saints, you heard me? We gonna get you right, bro.
Oh man, thank you. You know, that means a lot to me. So get a ball from you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. We're gonna send you that down your way, and bro, best of luck to you and everything that you do. I would say it sounds like you got a bright future, bro. I was a 3-star, so you 4-star. You know what I'm saying? That just opens up a door, and all that is an opportunity to shine, bro. So whenever you get an opportunity, take advantage of it.
Oh no, man. I'm glad you came to talk to me and watch my film, man.
Yes, sir, my boy. It was a pleasure.
This was the best entrance I've seen all year. Look at those masks. Yeah, smoke, everything.
Fireworks.
First quarter, running back Tylon Kent is going to be stripped by Glen Oaks defensive lineman Joshua Williams. Big man with the football, not a touchdown, all the way down to the 10.
Easy there, Mac.
And look at Coach O. He's looking on, scouting Madison Prep defensive end Quency Wiggins.
As Madison Prep's football season was coming to an end, Wiggins visited the University of Alabama, hoping to narrow down his list of offers, which had grown from 13 in December of 2020 to 31 by November 2021. In referring to his top 3 schools, Wiggins told the Courier on November 19, 2021, "I feel like those 3 schools will best develop me and turn me into the best player I could possibly be. I think the future is bright for all 3 of these schools. I just want to see which one I will be best at." On November 30th, 2021, as Quency Wiggins was receiving birthday wishes from Alabama and Florida, 2 of his top 3 schools, LSU's new head coach, Brian Kelly, held his first team meeting.
Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for being here, obviously. My name is Brian Kelly, and I am your new head football coach. Look, it's day 1. It's the first time you've met me, so I'm not here to win the press conference, okay? That's going to take time. You know, we're going to develop a relationship. It'll take time. It's built on trust. It's built on how we go to work every day. It's built on the things that we set as a standard within this program. Look, let me tell you why I'm here. I'm here because I wanted to coach the very best players in the country that are afforded the best resources in the country and play in the best conference in the country. That's an incredible challenge to a football coach. And I get that here, and I get a chance to work with the best athletic director, president, all in alignment to get to the end of winning a national championship. That's why we're here. That's why I took this job. I want to coach you. I want to develop you. Because my why, the reason why I do this, it's not to win games. That's going to be a byproduct of what we do. My why is I love developing football players, student athletes, you guys. And when I talk about developing you, I mean physically, technically, tactically, mentally, in all facets. That player development is what drives me. So that's why I'm here.
Reporters continued to reach out to Wiggins while he was making his final decision. A last-minute offer from Nebraska even came through. The day had finally arrived for Quincy to make his announcement.
Here to celebrate the decisions and signings of these 2 young men, Zion Chris and Quency Wiggins. Let's give 2 young men a hand. Had an opportunity to meet Quency Wiggins in the 8th grade, and you know he was a little late to the football party, but he definitely made the right decision to switch over, and totally excited to have been a part of his journey as well. We're going to have a few words from our head coach, and then we're going to let Quency and Zion and let everybody know what their college decisions are. One thing for all you young athletes in the room, you know the sports part, you get that, but for these 2 young men sitting up here, they had to take their business academically, all right? And that's to be commended because they put a lot of hours in, training, practice, games, and all that. But what you don't see is them having to complete assignments, do projects, studying, tutoring, and all that. So that in itself is worth another round of applause for each young man.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you all to Madison Prep National Signing Day to honor two of these great young men. With a lot going on in the community, I can definitely say that this is definitely a positive role model that we have that we celebrate here today. So once again, give them a round of applause, please. Quency Wiggins. Quincy came here I met him in the 8th grade, but when he got here in the 9th grade, I probably asked him once a week for 2 years to come out and play football with us. Every day, once a week, like, just to make sure, hey, son, you want to play football? It'd be nice to have you. One day, a coach from Kentucky came through. He was like, "Who is this kid right there?" I said, "That's Quency Wiggins. He played basketball." He said, "He don't play football." I said, "No, sir." Had a quick conversation. From then, he talked to Coach Jones. From that, it was history. Quincy showed up 2 years later, worked his tail off, gave everything he had. I have never seen anybody make that kind of turnaround in 2 years. Was able to accomplish the Army All-American game, All-State, accolades after accolades, and I'm so proud of him. Just in the 2-year time frame, Quincy had 24 sacks, 112 tackles, 43 tackles for loss, 6 fumble recoveries, 1 TD, and 7 defensive pass deflections. So that's amazing for a kid that hadn't played varsity football to come out and do that like that, perform like that on that level is amazing. Son, you earned everything, every bit, every accolade you got that you have earned in the last 2 years. Since you came out, you've been totally committed. You worked every day. You traveled around trying to do your best and learn the skill, and I'm so proud of you. So at this time, allow these two gentlemen to say where they will spend their next 4 years of playing college football. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. First, I want to thank my Heavenly Father for allowing me to make it to this point in my life. I want to thank my teachers for keeping me straight and keeping me on track throughout my academic career in Madison Prep. Second off, I want to thank the coaches on the Madison Prep football team for, taking me in and giving me this chance and this opportunity. Without them, I probably wouldn't be sitting at the table. I want to thank, my mom for helping me become the man I am today, raising me. Without having that much help, she did everything she can do to get me to this point. For that, I just love you so much. I want to thank all the coaches that recruited me. They made this process so hard. I want to thank my basketball teammates too for, just helping me get tough and get right. And last but not least, I want to thank Coach Jeff Jones for stepping in my life as a father figure. Being there for me, I want to thank my brother Cheryl, my family back there, my grandma, raising me, coming from the sunshine, you don't really get this chance. So, yeah, but all that being said, it's time to show y'all what we're doing. For the next 3 to 4 years, we're going to be taking our chance too.
right, Quincy, talk about the day. Glad it's over with?
Oh, yeah, I'm very glad it's over with. I can finally focus on one thing now.
What do you think about Fitzgerald West coming in from Lafayette? He don't do his till this afternoon. He comes in for it.
Oh, yeah, he told me he was going to come, That's love, that's my dog.
All right, man. So the special day, got a full house here. What do you make of it all?
Man, this is a memory, I'll never forget this moment, ever.
What time did you send your fax in or your electronic signature?
This morning, around 7.
All right. Well, so overall, what does this mean to you?
And it means a lot to me, taking my family to the next level. I don't really get this, not too many people in my family got this chance,
All right, man. Talk soon.
Yes, sir.
This class is important. As it relates to recruiting in the state, the talent is outstanding. They're hard to get out of Louisiana, which is a great thing.
LSU gets a big addition on National Signing Day, adding Rivals 100 defensive end Quency Wiggins. This is a guy, Sam, you and I both loved his game. Relatively new to the game of football, developing quickly and becoming a real high upside prospect. How big is this one for the Tigers?
Absolutely colossal. This guy, after what he did at LSU's prospect camp in June, surged to the top of the board, according to people that I've spoken to. We're talking all positions. Quency Wiggins was the guy that was a hot commodity for LSU. Obviously, it's a whole new coaching staff, but the previous coaching staff put them in a great spot with the hometown kid, and Brian Kelly coming in, Frank Wilson closing the deal with Quency Wiggins. I think he'll have a chance to play pretty early in Baton Rouge, and part of the reason why, like you mentioned, he's just wrapped up his second season, and he's developed just at an extremely rapid pace, and I think the upside is through the roof with this kid. Started off, you'd see a couple of flash plays here and there. He's a converted basketball player, 6'7", 270 pounds, and by the end of the season, he's setting the edge in the run game. We get to the offseason, he comes to our camps and he's dominating. He comes to LSU and he dominates against bona fide top 100 offensive linemen. He finished with 13 sacks this season. That's facing double and triple teams every single Friday night. I think Quency Wiggins is one of the best defensive end prospects. I think he'll play outside for LSU, but he certainly can add some weight and play inside. It just size, speed, power, and just overall athleticism for the most important position on the defense, in my opinion. Huge get for LSU as they look to retool this roster along the defensive front.
Yeah, you mentioned, his competitive nature. This is a guy, he flew to New Jersey to come to our camp. A lot of kids don't want to work out in front of schools, especially when they've already got 20, 30 offers. He wanted to work out. Of course, the video of him and Coach O, interacting at that camp was very popular. What does that speak to? Because like you said, guy who came from basketball, you don't think, hey, he's going to be instant competitive dog, especially playing on defense, not like playing tight end or something.
Yeah, I think he's highly motivated. He's new to football. He's seeked out private trainers. He's worked extensively with his coaches at Madison Prep. I think a lot of people have, he's burst onto the scene so quickly and faced a lot of, criticism and maybe expectations for him to be as good as people expect week to week. And I think he's shattered those expectations. I think he's a great kid. I think his upside on the field is through the roof. It's such a unique combination to be 6'7", 270 pounds. It's something along 84 to 86 inch wingspan that we measured in Atlanta. He had never been to a prospect camp before he went to Indianapolis and worked out. That's the first time he had ever done that. He had done drills with private instructors and that is it. And I thought, honestly, losing those reps to TJ Shanahan and the 5-star challenge, well, he's the number one guard in the country as a junior now, playing at Austin Westlake, which is a powerhouse. And then, eventually Wiggins, learn from your mistakes. And I think that's what kind of separates him to battle adversity and go back in the lab and reshape your game. And I think he's learned different counters, different, obviously pass rush technique. And I think when he gets to LSU and, whoever LSU has as their defensive line coach, the chance to get developed and see what his upside is.
All right, perfect. So huge gift for LSU. Be sure to check out tigerdetails.com for more Tigers signing day coverage.
On December 29, 2021, Coach Brian Kelly made his first major hire to LSU's football staff with the addition of Kansas City Chiefs linebacker coach Matt House as defensive coordinator. As noted by national recruiting analyst for Rivals Nick Harris, Quency Wiggins was dominant in one-on-one action at the All-American Bowl practice. Adam Gorney, Rivals national recruiting director, handed out his Gorney Award, the Adonis, to Quency Wiggins. That award goes to the best-looking prospect at the event. 24/7 Sports listed Quency Wiggins as the All-Lobby Squad MVP as he had elite arm and hand measurements at 36.5 inches and 10 3/4 inches, respectively.
I want to start with an update on a really scary story many might have heard by now. Quency Wiggins, an LSU football signee who's there to play in the game, was on a scooter and got hit by a car last night. Can you just kind of tell us what happened and what we know as of now?
Yeah, so this happened, I guess yesterday was Thursday, so this happened late Wednesday night. I was at the Thursday West practice. There was no Quency Wiggins, which certainly, he has been a top performer all throughout the week, so someone we've been watching. Saw the video of what happened. From what I saw, I did not witness it in person, but from the video evidence, it looked like he was riding a scooter without a helmet. It was a red light. A car went through, hit him. He went airborne. He did a complete tumble in the air, hit the street. He jumped right back up, which is just, I don't even have words for that kind of insanity. And the car just kind of drifted off, a hit and run, really unfortunate. He was hospitalized. And speaking to his guardian and checking in with him a little bit, it seems like his wrist is injured. They're not sure if it's a fracture or a broken wrist, but certainly he won't be playing in the game tomorrow. He's got a bump on his head. It looks like he was hit pretty hard, but according to Quincy, all things have been positive. He's in great spirits, and that's a great thing. And it doesn't seem like after a really severe hit that he's in too much trouble, or from an injury perspective. So that's the good news.
On the field, you said that he was performing well this week. What can you tell us from what you saw?
Yeah, and honestly, the fact that he says he was fine within hours later, you're right, it's astonishing because I think that would kill or severely injure most human beings. And at 6'7", 270, and you're built like Iron Man, he's lucky for that. He's been absolutely phenomenal this week. Quincy, the thing about Quincy, and I get to tell everyone, is he's just wrapping up his second year of football. He's a converted basketball player. In his first year, he obviously led Madison Prep to a state title. Now he's kind of getting used to these settings where you have to compete in one-on-one. So you have to use your hands and show off the technique aspect. You have to learn how to play with leverage. And this is not his first go-around. He's been doing this now, like I said, for almost 2 years, and he's been shining against some of the best tackles in the country. He has an outstanding get-off. I mean, he's 6'7", so even when he's behind in a rep, he's got natural strength, natural length to just move people at will, and it's just starting to click for Quincy. And I think his future is through the roof because of all this natural skills. And honestly, I know it sounds crazy, but he was just hit by a car, and the fact that he's in good spirits. I mean, that's a certain toughness that it's innate. You can't teach that to anyone. And, on the football field, he's going to take a lot of hits. None will be as hard as that car hit, but he's got a toughness and a desire to be great that I think you can't really quantify with what you see on the field.
Quency Wiggins graduated from high school a semester early, which allowed him to arrive to LSU in January of 2022, giving him a jump start on the college process. He was able to train and bond with his new team, learn the system, and learn from his coaches. In addition, he had the added benefit of going through the team's strength and conditioning program.
is Adam Gorney, the National Recruiting Director at Rivals, here with new 5-star defensive end Quency Wiggins, who, it could have been a long time coming. Obviously a great looking prospect and a ton of potential. But, we saw you in San Antonio at the All-American Bowl. Definitely a big performance out there. And just kind of describe your game for people that don't know you, what they're going to see at LSU and kind of what you're going to deliver on the field.
Well, y'all gonna see me all over the field because I don't just play one position. I play outside linebacker, DN, D tackle, nose. I play everything. So y'all can expect for me to be in the game at multiple positions and on different positions on multiple downs. Y'all can get a whole lot of energy and just an overall team player.
So much, fairly or unfairly, like you've been described having potential. You're going to, down the road is really when you're going to start shining even more. Just kind of break down your football history, when you really started getting serious about it and how that's kind of progressed over the last couple of years.
I didn't get serious with this till my junior year. I didn't play football my first 2 years of high school, but I got into it junior year. Ever since I got into it, I've been taking it real serious. I even quit basketball a little bit.
Do you feel like they say the game's slowing down? You feel like you're more comfortable in what you're doing, and especially now ramping up at the college level, how that's going to kind of propel your game even further?
I mean, the game definitely slowed down because in that All-American Bowl, during the practices, they weren't like the practices weren't as hard as I thought. The All-American Bowl, it going against the top linemen in the nation, it was rather easy, I'd say.
Yeah.
I can anticipate what they're doing now. The game just comes a whole lot easier now.
Yeah.
Before I got hurt, it was so easy at the All-American. I was telling people how easy it is to get past the online because I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it just
Right.
as time went on, one-on-one pass rush just got to the point where it's not nothing hard to me anymore.
Yeah. What's it been like at LSU for you? Obviously, you were familiar with the old coaching staff, very familiar. Coach Kelly is there now. Coach Kane is there. What has it been like with those guys, and what's been really the message kind of in these first couple weeks?
Man, those guys, they great coaches, by the way. Those guys have a plan for me and the rest of the team. I honestly think they're going to get us back to where we were in 2019. It takes time and, us getting new players. Those coaches, they know what's best for us. And the plan that y'all are going to see this season, y'all are going to see that this coaching change was definitely needed. And, and what Coach Kelly's doing is just amazing. But y'all going to see later on.
As your recruitment was unfolding, so was that coaching change and stuff like that. Was there any hesitation? Did you always kind of feel like LSU was going to be the school, or how did that kind of play out for you now that you're looking back at it?
When they first offered me, I didn't really show real interest. But as time went on and they were recruiting me, they made me a real priority. And that's when I realized this is home. No matter the coaches, this is home. That's what I told my mom.
Yeah. The last thing I want to talk about is the incident in San Antonio, and it's really no laughing matter. Thank God you're fine, but you're going down the road on a bird. You kind of do the thing that you were supposed to do, stop. Someone blows through a light and hits you, and it was a really scary moment. I mean, I saw the video, and it looked like it could be seriously, injuring. Maybe that was when I knew you were a 5-star, is when you kind of were okay after that. But what was that experience? What was that like? What did you remember from that? And how did that all kind of just like transpire?
Me and a couple of buddies went on scooters. We were riding on the clothes lane because, it was a construction site. And when we were going down this road, all of us were going across, and I guess he just decided to hit the biggest dude. I guess, I don't know. But my energy was high when it happened, so I didn't really feel anything.
Yeah. And from that, you're okay?
I mean, I got like a little hurt wrist, but the cast is finna come off. I'm finna get back to work, but, it's really not as bad as people say it. Getting hit by a car is not that bad. Maybe for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Again, this is new 5-star Quency Wiggins at LSU. I am Adam Gorney for Rivals.com.
That boy mic'd up. He mic'd up.
No, I'm not. Leave me alone. Mark Hain, defensive line coach, defensive run game coordinator. I think that's all we want you to do is compete. Player's job, compete. That's all we got to do, compete. If you can't compete, you shouldn't even be here. The LSU's had a great history of great defensive linemen, and I've been told that throughout the community, just in the grocery store or wherever I'm at. I'm trying to build off that history and making sure our guys understand the brand that we want to get around to put to our players. Got to roll off the ball. Here we go. Here we go. Get up. There it is. Good. Next two up. Let's go. Hey, Savion, you did a great job in winter camp of bending. You got it? Bend. All the way. We're rolling. We're rolling. Love it. Love it. Love it, Damaris. Love it. Love it. Today, when we go third down, I want to see guys rolling off the ball. Q, get off the ball. Get off the rock, Q. Here we go. Go. Roll through. The boy, Mason. Good job. Well, LSU recruits itself, first of all. I knew that they already were loaded up front. I knew what they already had, watching their bowl games, watching LSU play. But I think Coach Kelly had a plan. And his plan aligned with what I wanted to do with my career and where I wanted to take it. And it was an easy sell. And again, guys, just don't go through the motions of these drills. You guys got it? I get it. It could be monotonous. Like, okay, this don't mean nothing. Guys, everything we do on the field means something. Let's get better today. Here we go. Let's go D-line pride on one. Come on.
D-line pride.
Let's go. We good? We rolling? Here we go. Get up! Get up! Boy. The community.
Right hand inside this time, William. Right hand inside this time. Back up. Not wide. Back straight. Yo, hey. Slow it. There it is. Yo! Keep going.
Position of understanding situational awareness.
Brennan, a sixth-year senior. He's waited his turn. High snap. Ball is loose near midfield. The defense dives on it. And that goes as a turnover. 93, Quency Wiggins. True freshman. Kai Hegemon in coverage as we check in with Taylor.
Different guys adding on more weight. When I was speaking with players this week, one of the guys they pointed to in this new coaching staff is the new strength coach, Jake Flint, who came with Brian Kelly from Notre Dame. They're talking a lot about how he's really been big on getting these guys to buy into what the culture is trying to be here under Brian Kelly at LSU. There's accountability groups. Guys get points for doing things the right way, and that's carried over into the weight room. Will Campbell, another guy who's added on weight, about 17 pounds in 4 months since getting here to LSU.
Yeah, Taylor, it's interesting because when you talk to a new coach, they tell you how important it is to build a staff, and so many will tell you the most important guy you hire, your strength coach.
Well, and why is that? Because he and his staff are with those kids more than any other coach during that 3 to 4 month phase between the end of the fall campaign and when you show up for spring football. So they're making the assessments of the coaches saying, hey, who's our tough guys? Who's our guys that show up on time? Who's late? So you depend on them so much for their assessment of players.
Another first down.
People look at you and say this guy's a physical freak. He's just a little green. He's got to learn the game. He's got to. Is that where you're at, or where you were?
Yeah, I'm still learning a lot about the game. Spring was about learning for me. I wanted to adjust to the level, the speed, how everything was. It's not high school no more. I can't really just bully my way through anything anymore. So I had to learn. I had to learn that college isn't high school. So
I did see you recover that fumble in the spring game. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I should have scooped it, but it is what it is.
They probably would have blown it dead anyway, right?
Yeah, I think they would have blown it dead.
That's a great question. Obviously we made the decision to redshirt him.
he got to his 4-game threshold, and we pulled him from, obviously dressing, and certainly that was the message I think that was sent to everybody. He has really flourished in the last month. The light's gone on. I think what we had early on was a young player that, you know him as well as anybody from being here locally and following him in high school. He had not a lot of high school experience even, hadn't played a lot of football. I think coming down with us and me getting the chance to see him every day on scout team, he's learning how to play the game the right way, and pretty excited about him moving forward.
In Quency Wiggins' freshman season, he appeared in 5 games and recorded 5 tackles, including a career-best 4 in the win over Purdue in the Citrus Bowl. Wiggins made his LSU debut in the win over Mississippi State. He had his first career tackle the following week in the win over New Mexico. He also played against Auburn and Tennessee.
Second down and long. Another handoff to Tyrone Tracy. 3 yards. So it will be 3rd down and about 14 as Quency Wiggins made the stop for LSU. Alimo swings one out to Tyrone Tracy. He's got 3 more.
Probably the signature, maybe not signature, but a big turning point, Bobby, was that Florida game. That's the week after that Tennessee game. They go on the road to Florida.
Until late. He said it took that amount of time. That's when he had called up a private meeting with the wide receivers to all get on.
Send a bowling ball at it if that was the case.
Albers on 4th down. It is batted around and intercepted down at the goal line. Rod Wilson with a convoy. Wilson down the sideline with a cutback. Rod Wilson's going to go the distance. Touchdown. Flag down for, as you would imagine, excessive celebration on the part of LSU. I don't think they're going to mind. And Quency Wiggins, by the way, behind the play, is injured, but 99 yards for Wilson on the tip ball. Pick 6, interception return. A blimp shot as he weaved his way through traffic and then got a convoy of blockers.
Just look how crazy this is. Oh, that final cut. Good for that young man. I know it's a tough break for Albers, but good for Wilson.
Last time we saw LSU football, they were scoring a postseason record 63 points against Purdue in the Citrus Bowl. The victory clinching a 10-win season for the Tigers in the first year under Brian Kelly. LSU opening spring camp early in the morning today. This was the first of 15 practices as they prepare for the purple and white spring game on April 22nd inside Tiger Stadium. The Bayou Bengals having a handful of starters returning, including quarterback Jaden Daniels. Star wide receiver Malik Neighbors was also in attendance today after his Mardi Gras incident. For Coach Kelly, year 1 of spring ball was about creating good habits. Year 2 is about raising the standard.
You need more than just talent alone to win a national championship. So making sure that they clearly understand what this next 5-6 weeks is about. It's not a, hey, I won that drill, or hey, I won this one-on-one matchup. It's really about your total preparation, and it's about how you continue to develop the traits necessary to be elite.
Way bigger than you. We get hurt by different you know what I'm saying? I'm twice your size, you know what I'm saying? That's too small.
It's good though. You did that. Boy, that almost worked. Boy, 2 seconds. Yeah, I would have got it. Let's go! 83 again. With that. Over you. Family on 2-1-2, man.
Well, a day after picking up Saints receiver Marquez Callaway, Sean Payton gets another South Louisiana acquisition, hiring LSU D-line coach Jamar Cain to become the pass rush specialist for his Denver Broncos. One of Cain's LSU pupils, Jacobian Guillory, confirmed the news after Saturday morning's spring practice.
To see him go, it does hurt. I cry after practice, but I know this is what his ultimate goal was. And why be sad or be mad at someone leaving when this is what their goal was? And I have nothing but I wish him nothing but the best. I know he's gonna do amazing where he's going.
So you're working right, left, tackle. Remember, run up and through the tackle.
LSU officially announcing their new defensive line coach Monday, Jimmy Lindsey, spending the last 2 seasons with the South Carolina Gamecocks and has a total of 20 years of collegiate experience. Lindsey also making recent stops at Illinois, Western Kentucky, and Georgia Southern. LSU head coach Brian Kelly says Lindsey will do a great job developing players on and off the field while continuing the commitment to graduate champions. Head coach Eric Dooley and the Southern Jaguars have
obviously the recent news is the health concern of Coach Lindsey. He is obviously, I'll stand by the statement that we released and we'll stick with that, but we had to make some changes for hopefully just the immediate here. And that is that John Jancic, who was our special teams and outside linebacker coach, will move to the defensive line position. And then Bob Diaco, who is a senior analyst for us, will take over special teams and the outside linebacker position. Both of these are trusted and valued coaches that have had opportunities to work with me at multiple stops along my career, so I know them well, and will do an outstanding job for us in the preparation of our players going through camp. So, our thoughts and prayers are with the Lindsey family.
LSU is coming off its worst defensive performance in school history, allowing Ole Miss to rack up more than 700 total yards of offense and 55 points. But the Tigers are trying to immediately right the ship. A source confirms to WGNO LSU is rehiring defensive line coach Pete Jenkins. Jenkins is 82 years old, but LSU defensive coordinator Matt House calls the former Tigers coach back to his stomping ground. Jenkins has 3 previous stints with the Bayou Bengals, from 1980 to 1990, 2000 to 2001, and 2016 to 2017. Jenkins retired in 2017, but has worked as a consultant for several college and NFL teams. The Tigers' defensive line does need to perform better. Ole Miss rushed for 317 yards, and LSU did not sack quarterback Jackson Dart a single time. The Tigers were 13th in total defense and registered 39 sacks back in 2017.
Per LSUsports.net, Quency Wiggins has all of the measurables and traits necessary to be a dominant defensive end: size, strength, work ethic, and determination to be great. He showed a glimpse of what his future may hold with an outstanding performance versus Purdue in the Citrus Bowl. As a true freshman, he learned from some of the best at his position, working alongside the likes of B.J. Ojolari and Ali Gay each day in practice. Per LSU Country, one of the top defensive ends in America, the expectations were that Wiggins' development would hit at an efficient rate, but without a defensive line coach this season, his growth was stunted.
And some big news coming out of LSU today that shouldn't come as that big of a surprise. Head coach Brian Kelly has shaken up his defensive coaching staff, firing 4 guys. Defensive coordinator Matt House, along with 2 secondary coaches in Kerry Cooks and Robert Steeples, and defensive line coach Jimmy Lindsey. Those guys will not be coming back. Kelly thanked those coaches for their work, but it's because they didn't get very good results out of their work put in that they've gotten a pink slip today. LSU's defense has been poor the last 2 seasons, but particularly this this season, finishing ranked 105th nationally in total defense, allowing more than 400 yards per game. They also allowed 28 points per game, which is 78th best in the FBS. And in their 3 biggest games of the season against ranked teams Florida State, Ole Miss, and Alabama, Matt House's defense gave up at least 42 points and at least 494 yards in each of those games. So these changes in the eyes of Tiger fans were probably seen as long overdue. Lauren?
What's up, Buff Nation? Let's get it.